Video is dedicated to teaching you exactly what you're going to need for a mobile video real estate shoot. So let's start off by the question that you're probably thinking. I have a phone. What else do I need? Well, it's not exactly, time efficient. It's not exactly easy. You're going to have to put in time, effort, money, maybe. So dedication to your brand is absolutely necessary. Second, time. You're going to need 20, 30 minutes to do a real estate shoot. Probably won't take you longer than that, but you're going to need some time. That's why I put that in there. And the gear that you need. So you're going to need, you might need up to 4 items. And I'll go through that in just a second, but not before we talk about my vision and my idea for a revolution of amazing real estate marketing and service. I need you to help me share this course. If you are a part of this vision up to now, please share this course. It's going to help someone else out. So yeah, that being said, this is the most important video in the entire course. Don't skip, don't fast forward. But one thing that I will allow you, pro tip, put in 2x speed. Sometimes I don't talk very fast. Sometimes I use ums, us, and you knows. So yeah, put in 2x speed. And now let's get into dedication. So some of you don't care about growing your brand. Some of you don't care about that. Chances are, if you're getting to this point, you might care a little bit. But for those of you who are interested in growing a brand, it's hard. It's hard. It's time consuming. It's not an overnight thing. It's not something that you can just pump out a bunch of volume and hope that it works. You need to be intentional. It takes a while. So, and I'm in the process of growing my brand, and it's taken me a long time up until now, and I know that it will continue to take a long time in the future. But what's the other option? So, and it's absolutely worth it. You wouldn't be trying if you didn't, if you didn't think so. So, what do The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Conor McGregor all have in common? And please don't say that they're actors, because Conor McGregor is not enough of an actor, in my opinion, yet to consider that a commonality. So, what do they all have in common? Some of you guys might know. I'll give you a couple seconds. Yeah, these guys. Sorry. I was hoping this next screen was going to happen. Okay. They have all launched alcohol companies valued at, respectively, 3.5 billion, 610 million, and 600 million, respectively. So, The Rock, $3.5 billion Terramana tequila company. Ryan Reynolds, $610 million gin company. And you probably knew of, if you didn't know about the first two, Conor McGregor has his Proper 12, which is valued at 600 million, which, believe it or not, is less than The Rock and Ryan Reynolds. That surprised me personally, but anyway. And these are their products, or some of their products at least. So what does alcohol have to do with their brand? Any guesses? Well, nothing whatsoever. It's actually opposite to their brand. Okay, I'm going to go back a couple slides. These are all very fit people. They're all, part of their brand is fitness. Some more than others. The Rock played football at Miami. His first ever acting job was, I'm pretty sure it was this like kind of gladiator-esque movie where he was, the pinnacle of health. Ryan Reynolds, he's Deadpool. He has to be extremely athletic, and obviously it's, very unrealistic, but very, very athletic. And then Conor McGregor, he's actually fighting humans. Like, he's an extremely good fighter, and he's thought to be in amazing physical shape. But they all launched alcohol companies. Why? Why would they launch alcohol companies? You know. Anyway, I'm not gonna go into that. That's for sure. But it has nothing to do with their brand, and I would beg that it's actually completely inverse of what they've built their brand on so far. So, and they have hundreds of millions of dollars because of it. Not only that, but and for The Rock, a $3.5 billion company. And I think that's just his share. I'm not 100% sure on that. Don't quote me on that. But from I'm under the impression that that is just his share. Anyway, in any case, these people made hundreds of millions of dollars on their brand on something that doesn't have anything to do with their brand, really. So there's that. That's just explaining the importance of brand. So now we have time. And some of you might not think that you have a ton of time. I'm just addressing the obstacles before we go on to the solution. So some of you guys don't think you have time. And in some sense, you may have some merit to that argument, but I would do this exercise. I would check your screen time, and I would see if Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X, Twitter, I would see if all of those add up to over an hour. If so, I would probably I would probably tune in on maybe consider making some shifts to those time allocations, because, well, I'm not going to tell you why. I'm just going to ask you a question. Do those, does that screen time serve you? Does that make your life better? Of course, you might say that it's very entertaining for me to do that. Like that's something that I do at the end of the day while winding down before bed. I'm not going to get into blue light before bed, but yeah, does it serve you? Does watching those videos, does doom scrolling, does all these things, does that serve you? That's all I'm going to ask. I'm not going to persuade you to not be on your phone, as long as you are. But anyway, that will save you some time if you trim just a little bit. And it's only, like I've said multiple times, it's only going to take you 20 to 30 minutes to shoot a property. That's all it's going to take. It doesn't have to take any longer than that. You'll have the exterior shot. You'll have really cool exterior shots. You'll have, the interior shot. You'll have accent shots. You'll have everything you need to, to put a really nice video together. And what about travel time? So that is a wonderful question. Will you do an open house? Do it then. Do it 20 minutes before. Or if you go, some people take listings without even viewing the property. So if that's you, you're not, like, this next part isn't going to apply. But if you go to the listing for a listing meeting, or like having a meeting with the seller, going over the exclusive right to sell, going over whatever agency agreement you guys are going over, you can tell your seller right after that. I'm just going to see if I have something here. Okay, never mind. You can tell your seller, hey, I just want to let you know I'm super motivated. You wouldn't have chosen me as your realtor if you knew that I wasn't as motivated as I am and as passionate as I am about selling your home. So what do you think about me shooting a video right now? If you tell your seller that you will shoot a video right after you sign the papers, think about how confident they trust or how confident they feel in your ability to deliver. So just some food for thought. Again, I'm not going to persuade you to do anything. I'm not going to sell you on anything. That's not my job. My job is to explain my experience and what I think is the most beneficial for both you and the seller. So gear, the moment you've been waiting for. Smartphone. So you're going to need some sort of smartphone. For the rest of this course, you are going to hear me refer to my smartphone as an iPhone, because that's what I use. That's what I've been using for my entire life. So I'm going to say iPhone. If you have a Google Pixel or an Android or whatever, that works totally fine as long as you can operate those camera settings just the same. So again, I am going to be referring to iPhone because they have a pretty good market share in the US. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and that's the type of phone that I have. Anyway, let's get into it. So I use an iPhone 14 Plus. This is for many different reasons, but one of the main reasons is obviously having a nice camera. So I'm just going to go through all of these real quick. So tons of storage, really nice camera, and a huge screen. So this is for, so editing, I can find the exact point in which I want to trim it to. Maybe it's, seeing the colors a little bit better, seeing the end product. At the end of the day, the visual aspect of editing and shooting, having that screen a lot bigger for me is very, very important. What's even more important is the touch aspect. So my hands, I don't know about you guys, my hands are kind of big. My fingers are kind of big. That's just, that's a genetic thing that nobody can do anything about. So what I did is, when I was looking for iPhones, I was specifically looking for the bigger phones because I knew, with the visual aspect in mind, editing on a bigger phone is only going to be so much easier. So when I was on Marketplace, that's exactly what I searched for. You guys don't have to do this, but especially if you are not trying to label or anything, but if you are a smaller person, if you have smaller hands, then you might not have any need for it. If you've been operating um, a non-plus phone for however long, you'll probably be just fine. So enough of that rant. Most important thing is, as long as you have an iPhone. I know this sounds crazy. I don't even have, my regular phone is an XR or an X. I don't even really know what it is. But if you could pick up or get your hands on an iPhone 13 Pro or newer, that would be the best situation. I got my iPhone 14 Plus for I think it was $300, and this was kind of a while ago. So I am pretty confident if you stay on Marketplace, you could find some pretty dang good deals for iPhones, or whatever phone of your choice. But if you already have an iPhone 13 Pro or newer, disregard exactly everything that I just said. But the most important thing is that, because the camera quality or as well as the storage. So having adequate storage is very important, because you're going to be shooting hopefully a lot of listings, because the more video or the more listings you shoot, statistically, the more likely you are to get more listings if you show off those properties. All right, so this is just an iPhone comparison chart. You can pause this. The most important thing to, I guess, focus on is, let's see, so this wide angle lens, so this is just the aperture. I guess you don't really need to know that. We won't go into that too much. Well, actually, we won't go into that at all. Let's see, 4K video is also very important, just to have all of those frame rates. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for that. I guess I didn't overview that as much as I thought I did. But anyway, you can pause that, check out your settings, and as long as you have a 13 Pro or newer, that'll be good. As long as you have a wide angle lens, it will work. It's better than nothing. But I personally, I digress. I digress. All right, so the next piece of gear that you are going to need is a gimbal. So I know you might be thinking, well, that's probably going to be expensive. Well, first of all, let me describe a gimbal. A gimbal is normally, I think it's like a 3-axis piece of equipment that you put your camera on that stabilizes it. So here, let me just pause this video real quick. Seen a gimbal in your entire life? This is what it is. So what you'll do, well, actually, I won't explain exactly what you'll do, but it stabilizes your camera. There are tons of different settings, which we'll go into in the next video. Oh, I made it mad. And yeah, so that is a gimbal. And now we'll go through a couple things about the gimbal. So what I just showed you right there is the DJI Osmo Mobile 6. So when you have their app that you can have some more control over the gimbal, you also have more control over your camera settings, which is kind of crazy. You will be able to see a difference with just using your phone like this. Every single time you make a step, that camera will shake. I guarantee you. So when you use a gimbal like this, you'll go through and super, super smooth. Active Track 6.0. What is Active Track? So if you want to have the gimbal focus on a specific object, you can either draw a box around it or click the trigger button. So there's a little trigger button. You click that button and it selects the most prevalent object or subject in the frame, and then you can walk wherever and it will track you the entire time. So if you look at my Instagram videos, some of the videos that I have on my profile, I have the rear facing camera tracking my face, and when I move and when I'm showing my hand signals, whatever, the camera will be able to lock onto my face and follow me wherever I go, I guess. So that is Active Track. And then the tripod. So as you can see here, you can set it up wherever you want. I just set up literally right next to me. And the joystick, so the joystick just determines where you want to point the camera. All right, now microphones. So as you can see, I have a little DJI microphone on me right now. That's just to get better audio quality than I can get out of my computer. So that is why I use the DJI microphones. It has a dual transmitter with, and it comes with 2 mics. So in the package here, I'm just gonna right behind me. So it comes in this package. You flip it open, and you see there's 1 extra mic in here. So there's 2 microphones, and so 2 people can be mic'd up. And if you have that transmitter on, well, you will have that transmitter on. It will pick up both people. So that all that's all included, obviously, in the price. So pretty cool, especially if you have, let's just say a property is co-listed, or there's like a dual agent thing, or you just want to make a video with 2 people. It'll pick up the audio on both people really super crisp. So very cool. And yeah, it's just super easy to use. I just plugged it into my computer. So the transmitter goes into my computer, the mic goes on my shirt. Turn both of them on, and it's ready to go. It's freaking awesome. And even if you're outside, so there's a little wind screen, wind muffler, whatever you want to call it. You just put it on the top, and you can walk outside on a windy day and you can record a video and it sounds good. So pretty amazing. Lighting. As far as lighting in real estate shoots, I don't use a ton of it, but if you want, you can find some great lighting options on Amazon. What I would recommend is look at the reviews. Make sure that they have good reviews. This is very common knowledge, but yeah, this is something that could not be understated. Find a really, find a light stand that has a light stand that has like tons of reviews, tons of good reviews. Maybe it even has Amazon bestseller or something like that. And don't spend more than $40-$50 on lights, because you won't be using them much, and I don't view it as necessary. But you can find some amazing lights on Amazon. Like I said, super cheap. I have 2 light stands that came with tons of filters, tons of attachments, this and that, for I think it was somewhere around $34, and I still use those lights all the time. I have a light that I got for probably $20 that's lighting my face right now. So pretty neat. So as I have here, you probably will not need your lighting, but I would bring it just in case, because sometimes you might have, let's just say you have a movie theater or you have a pantry or something like that that doesn't have super bright lights. Maybe there's like a dimmer switch and it only goes up to a certain amount, but it's not bright enough. So sometimes, you're not going to want to mess with the settings on your phone, like on your phone camera. You're going to want to just try to get more light in that area. So in that case, it would help. If you feel inclined, bring it with you, but you definitely don't need to. And for props, I never use props. That's pretty much it. I'm not even going to go into it because I have zero expertise on props. But what I will tell you is, and it's not on this list, I would consider buying an ND filter. I haven't even done this for myself yet, so who am I to tell you? But this is something that is very, very important. I've had ND filters for my cameras. I've had ND filters for my cameras, and I can tell you one thing: it makes a huge difference in the quality. And I'll go over that in a different video in the next lesson actually. I'll tell you exactly why an ND filter is so important, but we don't need to go into that. What I will show you is a really quick video, 40 something seconds, on, I guess, on. All right. I am in no way affiliated with this company, but I just figured I would explain that because that's something that I think is very, very beneficial. As you could see with some of those before and afters, there were some significant changes in the quality. So I will be getting into more of that. Maybe I'll have a completely different course on that, but that is that is kind of the importance of having external lenses. So just a little summary, a little recap. You will need a little bit of time and you will need a little bit of dedication. So just get the Osmo Mobile 6. Here, I'll show you again. So it's not on right now, as you can see, but this is what it looks like. That is what the interface looks like. There's the joystick, there's the scroll wheel. There, lots of cool stuff you can do with the DJI Osmo Mobile 6. You will thank yourself a million times over. I've used it for so many different things, not just real estate videos. I've used it for content creation. I've used it for, friendly events. I've used it for career, like my real estate brokerage. We go to events sometimes, and I'll bring that. Like, there are so many different use cases for this gimbal. It's so small. So I don't know about you guys, but I have, notoriously just stored tons of stuff in my pocket. And I'm just going to show you how compact this thing gets into. So if you don't want to bring the tripod, look at this. That's how big it is. Look at how big it is compared to the phone. It's literally not even an inch bigger. I can put this in my pocket. I'm actually going to show you this right now. All right. Sorry, this is kind of weird. I can fit this entire gimbal in my pocket. Is that not crazy? And it's going to be in my pocket for the rest of the video. But yeah, so you can, and if you're a woman, you can put this in your purse, and super easy to just whip out. You know what? I'm actually going to show you something. And let me show you how fast this is to set up. So turn that, boom, flip your phone around, boom, and it'll take a little bit to get set up, and then we're ready. Well, I guess the gimbal's not quite right. Okay, now we are set up. We are ready to shoot. Isn't that crazy? So that is the DJI Osmo Mobile 6. Again, you will thank yourself a million times over. It's just such a beautiful tool to work with. And mics are important, but only buy mics if you see yourself doing social media content, spoken social media content, or spoken video tours. So those are, anytime, I guess, any content that has a spoken aspect, I would consider investing in some microphones. These microphones have been such a, just like the DJI Osmo Mobile 6, I've thanked myself so many times for getting these things. Just saves my audio like crazy. Props and lighting, optional. It will enhance your video, especially lighting, but it's just going to take you so much more time. And at what point do you just upgrade to a camera? Realistically, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that a video with a camera isn't going to look slightly better than a video with a phone, but it will take you so much more time, and so much larger learning curve, larger than this course, obviously. So that being said, this is Mobile Video Mastery. Time to get after it.